there are spiritual forces at work, enemy forces, that don't want us to reach that fulfillment in that eternal life, that don't want us to discover what Jesus called living water. I will give you a drink, he said to that bride, to that woman. I will give you a drink that if you drink it, this living water, it will well up in you to eternal life. That's why God gave us sexual desire, to be like the fuel of a rocket that can launch us to this eternal life, to the stars, like a rocket launches to the stars, as I often say. But there's an enemy who doesn't want us to reach those stars. And his goal is to invert those rocket engines, to invert them so that when we launch, we crash and burn. That's the experience of so many in the sexual revolution. The sexual revolution was an understandable response to what Hugh Hefner called, founder of Playboy Magazine, for whom the author of this article wrote, right? She said she used to write for Playboy. Hugh Hefner, founder of Playboy Magazine, said, I started Playboy Magazine as a personal response to the hurt and hypocrisy of Puritanism in my strict Christian upbringing. Hugh Hefner, hey, I can relate, right? But he has thought, as so many of us have thought, he thought there are only two options: indulge or repress, or to use my metaphor, he thought the only two options were the starvation or the fast food. And if those are the only two options, you would be crazy to go for the starvation approach. I don't know about you people, but I'm hungry. That's why when I was a teenager, I became a quick convert to this fast food approach to sex. And I call it the fast food approach. Why? Because it holds out an immediate gratification. And let's be real and honest, those chicken nuggets taste good going down. But if that fast food becomes your approach to sexuality, the grease and the sodium is going to catch up with you. And that's what Bridget, I believe, is being honest about. In my language, the grease and the sodium of the fast food approach to sex has caught up with Bridget, and she's being honest about it. Thank you, Bridget, for being honest about it. And what I want to hold out to Bridget, and what I want to hold out to all the viewers and to the whole world, is that the repressive approach and the indulgent approach, the starvation and the fast food approach, are not the only two options. There's a third way. And here's an image of it. The third way, here's the indulgent approach, where we aim that yearning at the finite pleasures of this world. Here's the repressive approach, where we just hold erotic desire in as if it's bad and evil. But here's the invitation of the gospel: not to repress, to redeem, to open that yearning for infinite love, for infinite joy, for infinite glory, to infinite joy, infinite love, and infinite glory. I will give you a water that if you drink it will launch you like a rocket to the stars. This is what I learned from St. John Paul II's Theology of the Body, the third way. And like you, Bridget, growing up in the Catholic Church, I only had these two options presented to me. And I did this for a time, and then I did this for a time. And I realized the hard way, like you have, Bridget, that you can die from starvation, but you can also die from what you might call food poisoning. And it put me on my knees saying, God, if you exist, you better show me why you gave me these desires. And you better show me what I'm supposed to do with them. And that led me to the discovery of John Paul II's Theology of the Body. And I don't want to give the impression that this is the cure-all. It's not the cure-all, but it's a map that can lead us on a path that through life's journey begins to redirect those rocket engines towards the destiny we really yearn for.